Hey guys, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing super well. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share my videos with your family and friends. Welcome to my Sheley's Dark Tales podcast series. I'm really excited. This is going to be the third episode, by the way. I hope you've watched the last two episodes. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. It's on my channel. Also, guys, if you have any stories that you want to share with me that you want me to read out, 110%, please email it to me at the bottom there, sharewithsheley@yahoo.com. And yes, I'd love to know or read about your stories, guys. Tonight's story is not mine. It belongs to a young man from Sova Bazar, Kolkata. He was modern, educated, and proud to call himself a skeptic. Ghosts, he would say, were just shadows in the mind. Chudails, bhoot, ferotnis, all silly stories told by the old to keep children indoors after dark. But one late night ride through Kolkata's narrow gullies would force him to question everything. This is the tale of the Chudail of Kolkata. His name was Joy, 27 years old, the only son of his parents. By day, he worked in a Salt Lake call center selling broadband to strangers over the phone. In the evenings, he played cricket with his friends on the empty fields or scrolled endlessly through his phone like any millennial. He lived with his parents and grandmother in a modest flat in Sova Bazar. His grandmother, like many of her generation, believed in things Joy laughed at. Spirits, omens, the restless dead. Takuma, he teased one evening. Bud churel shob golpo. Ei shob ar cholbena. His grandmother only shook her head. Eder upir hashish na baba. Eta bishash koren. It was a Thursday night when his Masima, his aunt, called. She had just returned from her village and wanted him to come to her house in Shambazar to collect some vegetables. The clock read 11:45 p.m. Joy groaned. He had work early the next day, but he was fond of his Masima, and besides, he didn't like saying no to family. He wheeled out his father's old scooter, the one that rattled at every bump. The streets of Sova Bazar stretched out ahead of him, narrow, dark, and silent. Kolkata at night is a very different city. The trams had stopped running. The yellow taxis were nowhere to be seen. Only the occasional howl of a stray dog echoed through the gullies. By the way, gully means streets or alleyways. Shuttered shops lined the lanes, their signs creaking faintly in the breeze. The street lamps flickered weakly, some glowing, some dead. It was down one of these gullies that Joy first saw her. She stood alone, a teenage girl. Her gown was long, black and heavy, soaked as though she had just stepped out of a river. Her hair, wet and tangled, clung to her face and shoulders. She had makeup on, thick and smeared, streaked down her cheeks. She raised her hand and waved. Joy slowed down instinctively. As he passed her, he heard her whisper something. The words slithered into his ear, but he couldn't understand. The voice was high, almost sing-song. She looked like she was from Nepal or somewhere, he thought vaguely. Pale, tired, he shook his head and sped up. At the canal bridge, the Jolunga Pull, he found it blocked with construction barricades. He cursed under his breath, turned the scooter around and retraced his path. That was when the scooter sputtered and died. It stopped working. Are, he muttered, kicking furiously. The headlight flickered on, and there she was, closer now, running towards him, barefoot. Her feet smacked the wet ground. Her breath came heavy, ragged like someone sprinting for their life. Dada, please, amake niye jaan. Before he could react, she jumped onto the scooter and clung to his shoulders. Joy's heart pounded, but up close he saw bruises on her face, a cut across her cheek. She looked like she had been beaten. His fear gave way to pity. Don't worry, he stammered. Amiachi, I'll take care of you. He gunned the engine. But the gullies twisted strangely. Every turn seemed to take him deeper into the maze. His sense of direction slipped. Then a faint glow appeared ahead. A char dukan, also known as a tea store. Relief flooded him. The shopkeeper was outside, burning wood for tea. "Wait here," Joy told her. "I'll get help." He ran to the shopkeeper. His words tumbled out in panic. "Bhai, ekjon meye, she's hurt. Please, call the police." The shopkeeper frowned. "Meye? Apnar songe to kyo nahi?" Joy spun around. The scooter was empty. She was gone. The shopkeeper again said, "Apni to eka eshechen." His hand trembled as he lit a cigarette. Goosebumps prickled his skin. At the police station, the Thana, he begged the police for help. They searched for 2 hours. They found nothing. The next morning, police called him back. They had found 3 teenage girls at the tea store owner's house and a black gown. He rushed to the address and found out that those girls were the tea store owner's daughters. And in the corner of the room, he saw the black gown, torn at the shoulders, the same gown the girl had worn. The daughters swore they never had seen it before. The father said he had found it by the Hooghly River 2 weeks ago. Joy was certain he was lying. The police arrested him, but the girl, nowhere to be found. In the next few days, Joy fell really ill. His appetite completely vanished. His body grew heavy. It burnt with fever. He felt really weak and he had shooting pain on his shoulders and on the back of his neck. "Hospital aja," his father said firmly. When his grandmother heard about what had happened that night, she shook her head and said, "Na, ita meenai. Igu ekta Chudail." Joy laughed weakly. "Chudail? A witch? Takuma, ami nije choke dekichi." But in his heart, fear had begun to root. Joy's mother arranged a visit to the local Baba's house. A Baba, guys, I'm guessing is like a wise man or a priest. They reached the Baba's house just before dawn. It was nothing like the gleaming apartments around it. A crumbling 2-story Newari-style home, wedged between tall concrete buildings like an ancient tooth in a modern jaw. Wooden beams sagged under the weight of age. Faded red-painted symbols marked the threshold. The heavy wooden door groaned open, and the smell of incense and burnt ghee hit Joy like a wall. Bhairav Baba was not a man at all, but a thin old woman, her spine crooked, her hair white, her eyes sharp and black like coal. Her voice, when she spoke, rasped like a knife dragged over stone. "Eshecho," she said, her eyes fixed on Joy. "Tumar shorire gondo ekono meyer." Joy swallowed hard. His fever burned, sweat running down his back. His father nudged him forward. He told her everything: the girl, the scooter, the shopkeeper, the gown. He could barely finish before the Baba raised one trembling hand. "Chup, arbolona." Her eyes widened. She shuffled to a corner of the room and returned with a small brass bowl of water, a broom made of sacred grass, and a long, tall mirror, its frame carved with flowers and smeared with vermilion and ash. "Ei aina doro," she commanded. "Tumar pichone deko. Deko ke boshe ache." Joy's hands shook violently as he lifted the mirror. At first, only his reflection stared back, pale, gaunt, sweat dripping from his chin. His chest rose and fell in ragged gasps. Then 2 pale hands appeared in the glass, resting on his shoulders. His breath caught. He snapped his head back. Nothing was there. But when his eyes returned to the mirror, he froze. There she was, the girl. Her hair dripping wet, slithered over his shoulders like snakes. Her face still bruised and painted with streaks of makeup pressed against his neck. And her smile, wide, unnatural, teeth glistening sharp and yellow. Her feet hung down his sides, backwards, twisted the wrong way, the mark of a Chudail. Joy tried to scream, but no sound came out. His lips trembled. His whole body felt nailed to the floor. The Baba began to chant in Sanskrit, sprinkling water on him, thrashing his shoulders with the broom. Let go, let go, let go. The girl in the mirror hissed, her lips moving, though no sound came. Her nails dug into his shoulders. He felt it, the cold, sharp sting of claws piercing his flesh. His knees buckled. The mirror trembled in his hands. A thin crack spread across the glass, spidering outwards. The Baba screamed louder. Stand up. You need to fight. She has sunk deep into your body. Joy fell forward. The mirror almost slipped from his hands. In the glass, the girl's head rose slowly above his, her mouth stretching wider, her eyes rolling wide. Her voice, high-pitched, broken, filled the room. Tumar rokte, amar kide shesh hobe na. The mirror shattered, shards rained to the floor. For a moment, there was silence. Joy collapsed, gasping, his hands bleeding from the glass. The Baba sprinkled more water and pressed a burning piece of incense to his skin. This is only the beginning. She is very powerful. I have pulled her out of your body, but her tether is still there. Joy's eyes darted around the room. In the broken shards of mirror at his feet, he saw it again. Not one reflection, but two. His own face, and just behind a second, the girl smiling, her lips close to his ear. He jolted back with a cry, but when he looked down again, the shard showed only his own trembling face. The Baba knelt close, her eyes piercing. She will wait. Chudails don't give up their prey so easily. She will follow you through the gullies. She will follow you to your bed. She will feed when you are the weakest. And if you ever turn your head at the wrong moment, if you ever look into another mirror. Her voice trailed into silence. The only sound in the room was the faint, wet drip of water, as though from hair falling on the floorboards behind him. Joy dared not to turn around. That was the tale of Joy from Sova Bazar. The police never found the girl. The gown was real. The scratches on his shoulders were real. The fever stayed for weeks. And even now, when he walks alone through the gullies of Calcutta, he swears he can still hear it, the sound of bare feet running behind him, and sometimes the drip of wet hair just over his shoulder. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please let me know in the comments what you thought. And if you have any Chudail stories, please email it to me. I'd love to read them and read it out on my page as well. And yes, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and make sure you guys read your duas tonight, guys. Bye.